Welcome back into Soul Plus Systems. I'm Jenn, and whether you're new here or you're returning, welcome in. This is where we talk about rebuilding, real life, real identity, and what it actually takes to keep moving forward when life doesn't go the way that you planned. Today, I'm here with Barbie. Barbie, I'm really glad that you're here. I know it takes something to show up and to share your story, so welcome in. And
Thank you
let's
so much
start
for having
here.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Who are you in this season of your life?
Oh, that sure is a big question. I am right now just loving coming into this next chapter, I call it. And that's how you and I, how connected is that we all just have to reinvent ourselves so many times. Right now, I'm just really enjoying launching my podcast. I am currently taking training to be on one confidence coach as well, because I'm really passionate about just what we're talking about restarting, starting life from your own terms. And so often in this second phase of our lives, it's like, hey, what do I actually want? We've spent so much of our lives worrying about what our partners want, kids want, bosses want, parents want, all the people. And now it's our turn. And hey, we got to figure out what we actually want first before we can go and get it. So that's the stage that I'm in right now, and then also wanting to help others do the same.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. It's once you get past a certain age at your point in your life, it's like when do you begin to believe in yourself, to
Mhm.
remember what it is exactly that you want in life. Was there ever a moment where things really shifted for you, where you realized that you had to become stronger or different than before?
Yeah, absolutely. About 10 years ago in 2015, I woke up with Bell's palsy on the left side of my face. And for those who may not be familiar with what that is, it's sudden onset facial paralysis. And typically, it is only on one side of the face. Rarely it will occur bilaterally, but for most people, it's one side of the face. And it was very interesting for me because obviously the first question people ask are, "Oh my gosh, were you shocked?" And it was super weird because I actually wasn't shocked. I was like, I wonder why this is happening to me. And I started Googling, of course, because that's what we do. And I was looking at metaphysical reasons for Bell's palsy. And that was basically you're holding anger in, resentment, frustration. You're not using your voice. So, how I explain it is that the universe then paralyzes your mouth. Hey, you're not going to, they're going to take it away from you so that you pay attention, because my view on it is that the universe will keep going small, gives you small messages, and then it'll eventually get louder. And if you don't listen, it's going to do it for you. And that's what happened to me.
You're right.
So I,
That's such a
yeah,
powerful and magical experience in the ability to go within yourself and to take the best qualities and the most positive things that you could from those moments and to be able to want to be able to serve other people. That's amazing. We talk a
yes, thank
lot
you.
about rebuilding here, and it's not just getting through something, but becoming someone new on the other side. What does that look like for you?
For me, it started figuring out what I needed to do. And it's been a progress of about 10 years. These aren't these things, just as you were saying, it's not like we just wake up and fix these things like a cold or a flu that go away. These big meaningful things that happen in our life, whether they're big milestones like a divorce, a death, a cancer diagnosis, those kinds of things happen to us, I strongly believe, for a reason. And exactly what you said, to morph into something new on the other side. And we can decide what to do with that. And everybody's different. It, for me, it's bringing my voice, using my voice, allowing other people a vehicle to tell their story. And how it started was I started a channel called Bell's Palsy Talk. And I did it on Instagram Lives to start with. And I had other people come on and tell their stories. And these aren't huge dragon slaying stories. It's not, I think a lot of times us as people, we think, oh, I'm not brave unless I've done these big things that make the newspaper and newspaper. What even is that anymore? But the big stories, right? And brave to me is those little day by day getting back up and starting again. Exactly what we're talking about here. And so the people that came on my Bell's Palsy talk, it was so cool. And I really, what really was special to me is these people would come on, and then I would notice that they would show up more on their own social media feeds. And a few of them came back to me and said, "Hey, you know what, Barbie, you just gave me that." It was almost like permission, and you gave me that light to be able to speak again. And that was big aha moment for me, is that I had that ability. I wasn't doing anything, it was their story. But I was just giving that vehicle to allow people to know that they're allowed to take up space as well. And we don't need to shrink. Everybody's story matters. And that's what my message always is: your voice matters. And it doesn't matter. Everybody has different journeys in life. You and I, we love speaking, want to get on that podcast. We want to speak to as many people as possible. And it's okay if that isn't another person's journey. Maybe their dream is to be the best mom ever and they have two sons and that's their audience. That's okay. Your voice, though, is important in whatever area you are. One of the ladies that came on my Bell's palsy talk, she's very passionate about fitness. And now she has a platform where she speaks about fitness. And just because it's not the facial paralysis that she's talking about, she just launched basically after she was given this ability to tell her story. That's very special to me. And that's where my passion is.
Absolutely. Did you ever feel like you lost parts of yourself along that way? And what actually helped you to start finding your way back? Was it just being able to remind people that they don't need to ask permission, that they need to have their own voice and take up space, as you were mentioning?
Yeah, like I think that as we turn into something new, now we can describe it as turning into something new or finding who you really were before you started hiding. Different people have different views on it, but I think that when we're speaking in this context, it can both mean the same thing. Yeah, you have to drop stuff. You have to drop that mask of people pleasing. You have to drop that, why am I doing this? I had the big house, the perfect image, the suburban barbecues every Saturday. Perfect. And I did. At the time I enjoyed it. It's not like I was being forced into doing this stuff. But what was really special to me is you start to progress and think, am I getting anything out of this? I think that a lot of the times we put so much in and you're not getting anything out. There needs to be a little bit of a balance and an equilibrium. So at a certain point, if you're just giving all of yourself, what's left at the end of the day? And as we progress in metamorphosis or whatever we want to talk to, and from the caterpillar to the butterfly, whether that actually
Self
even happens, it's,
evolution.
yeah, it's always a journey. There's no end.
Yes, the journey.
Things have to drop off. You can't stay the same if you are wanting bigger things. And that's what my work right now is internally, is what's coming off to make room. If you have a pie, can't get more pie, so the balance is there. Or another theory that I like to use as a visual is the four burner theory. And I don't know if you've heard of this, is if you turn one burner up to 100%, four burners on a stove, then the other three can't be at 100%. And we need to kind of
I
decide.
haven't heard that before.
Yeah, it's an interesting visual for me. I'm a very visual person. I'm a Gemini, so and it I said to a therapist a long time ago, I was about 25, right? And when you're 25, you're going to take on the world and you can do all the things. Like, I'm going to do all the things all at once. Doesn't matter. And a therapist said to me, your life is a pie and you can only give a certain percentage. And I'm just going to make enough money. I'm just going to buy another pie. And so, of course, she thought that was hilarious, but that's just not how it works. We can't burn the candle at both ends for forever. We can do it for a while, and then that's gonna run out. And I think that
Extinguish the light within.
exactly
Yeah.
within ourselves.
I mean,
And
healing isn't always clean. I definitely agree with you 100% on having cups pour into your cup as well. And having it, I'm a Libra, so I am all about the scales and justice and balance. So,
yeah,
of course, for me, I had to learn that the hard way about people pleasing as well. I find that when it's your mission to serve people and you have the calling that you can't unhear, that those things, it's a process, because in order to be able to help other people, you have to look within. And again, if you're
absolutely.
if your light is so dim that you can't even recognize your own face in the mirror, then you definitely can't be a lighthouse for others, because you have to be able to expand that light and not be afraid. What did that process teach you about yourself? What was the biggest takeaways for you?
And actually, I just want to join with the lighthouse example that you made. This is something that I'm learning right now is if we think about a lighthouse stands there and is shines brightly and people, the boats come to the lighthouse. The lighthouse does not go out looking for people to help, looking for their value. The lighthouse doesn't go running in the ocean and say, "Hey, look at me, I can help you. I'm really important." And that's what I'm learning now is I'm going to stand in my light, and those who are meant for me or those who are going to lift me up and be important in my journey will find me. And it took me a really long time to differentiate the difference between putting the work in and just standing there, because in a younger mentality, it's okay. That sounds lazy to me, right? The ego says, I need to hustle and I need to work hard and I always need to be doing something for people to think that I'm important or worthy. And that's not the case. We can stand in our own light, still be doing important things like what we're doing today. This is important work. We're sharing, opening, staying open, allowing others to hear that their voice is important too. To me, it took me a really long time to understand that is me doing something. Just because it's actually what I'm naturally good at, it's still valuable. Instead of us hustling and killing ourselves to be considered worthy, burning the candle at both ends, like we were saying, we, when we're in our own light and in what we're supposed to be doing or what we're meant to be doing in life, it doesn't feel hard. It's a challenge, it's difficult. Me opening up and pouring my heart out and being open to my listeners, it's vulnerable and it's tricky, but it's not hard. There's a very big difference between that. I think that when we're in places that we're not meant to be in our journey, it's hard. It's a grind. It's like, you're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to. I was in an industry a couple of years ago where you're like, this is not for me. These people, I don't fit here. It's hard. It doesn't mean I can't do it. It doesn't mean I wasn't good. I was good at it. But you're just like, ugh, and you know that you're not meant to
Right.
be there.
Yeah, that feeling, it doesn't go away.
Mhm.
It's especially like when you feel it so strongly that you keep getting called back to it no matter what's going on in your life. You can have chaos, you can have the storms, you can have even the rainbows and the unicorns, right? But at the end of the day, the only person that you answer to is yourself. So people, they see the strength now, but they don't always see what it took to build that strength. What do you wish people understood about your journey?
That it's hard and it's lonely. And I think a lot of the people we thought were going to have our back and pick us aren't going to. And that's the part that creates that strength and that resilience that everybody says, "Oh, you're so strong, you're so resilient." It's not fun getting there. I talked last week on one of my feeds about bravery. Being brave doesn't, when we see somebody that we see as brave, that's how we think it's going to feel. When what we look at them and feel about them, we think it's going to feel for us when we're brave, and it isn't. There's no power suits and there's no mic drop and there's no, I got you. No, it sucks. It's gross. And it's every day. You're like, what am I doing? Who am I to be doing this? All those things. That's the
The
hard
self
part.
sabotage and the self negative talk really tries to
Yeah,
creep
every
in.
day. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ego
Yeah.
always does.
And you know what? The thing of it is the most powerful transition that I have found in my own journey is that the harder it is, the closer I know I am.
That is, and I was talking, my son plays lacrosse in college and he's very strong human. And we were talking about that image. I'm sure you've seen it where it's like the gold mine or the diamond and he's mining for the diamonds. And there's two pictures and it's up, top and below. And the top one, you can see him. He's this far away from the diamonds and he's mining. And then the one on the bottom is also this far away, but he gave up. And that visual is exactly what you're saying. It gets the hardest when you're almost there.
It
So all
does.
you have to do is just keep going just one more time. You
Keep
get up
momentum flowing. Yes.
and today's not the day I quit. And sometimes that momentum that you're talking about, it's not always there. It's not magic. Sometimes you literally have to force yourself to keep going.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, no, when I tell my listeners and my clients, just all you have to do today is say, today's not the day I quit.
So what does
Um,
courage look like for you today?
I think that just what we're saying, today's
Just
not the day I quit. And
exactly.
some days you're gonna give 100%. If you look at it like the diamonds are the goal, whatever your goal is, whatever, who cares? You can, some days is 1% and some days is 100%, but you're going to, as long as you're progressing towards that goal a little bit every day.
Every day.
Earlier you were talking about balance, and there's no like, especially for people who are juggling, which what woman do you look at that's not juggling a million things, whether it's a career or kids or marriage or partnership or a pet or whatever. Some days you're going to give more to some things than others. And when I was a young mom, I really was struggling for that, like, where's the balance, where's the balance, where's the balance. There is no balance, that whole work life balance or any of those, there
Right.
isn't. When we look at things like, maybe if we're a numbers person as yourself, as a Libra, it is about balance, but you want to look at, maybe you look at the whole year. We're not going to, today there's more effort and passion put into your podcast, tomorrow maybe in your relationship, the next day maybe in your day job. When we look at balance, I think as women in general, we're like, it always has to be, and maybe we even
It
look at
looks
it,
different
I
for
think
everybody. Yeah.
everybody,
Right.
exactly, and every day and every
Yep.
life and every,
Exactly.
you live in Ohio, I live in BC, like there's different things.
I live in
Maybe
Arkansas now. I'm an OG from Ohio, from Cleveland in the
ah
house. So
yeah.
anybody in Cleveland, hey, what's up? But no, going back to what you're saying, I found the thing for me that got me really going was structure
Yeah, oh yeah.
and being able to stay structured. So without the systems in place and without the structure in place, it made it difficult to see that goalpost move every single day. And for me, like I really, with my podcast and the YouTube and everything like that, just seeing the numbers climb and the ability to reach people globally. So for someone who's listening right now, who's in a hard place, they haven't moved yet, they don't know what the next step is, what would you want them to hear from you?
I think that one of the biggest things, and I was just thinking this yesterday, is key, exactly what you said. If you feel stuck and you're not moving, you need to start moving. A lot of the times, I've been there. I know this is the first day that I've talked to you, Jen, and I know you have too, because you wouldn't be in this people profession if you weren't. When we find ourselves in a depressed or stuck place, what do? You hide under the covers. You're not moving. It doesn't matter if you're moving towards your goal. Say you're hiding under the covers and you're like, hey, you know what, Barb and Jen, they're doing such a great job, and I want to have a podcast too. Let's just say that's the goal. But you're like, I'm so scared and trapped, and I'm just going to hide under the covers. You don't even need to know what it is to start a podcast. You just need to start moving. And I'm literally talking like moving your body. Get up out of the house and start walking, for example. There is
Walking is a huge help.
huge research done on your nervous system and your,
I love
just,
walking. I make it a daily
yeah,
practice.
moving your body is meditative. So even if you're too scared to pick up the microphone, it could take you 5 years to start this goal. That's okay. But just like we were saying, you want to make those small micro steps towards that goal. So walking, it is huge research done on how meditative it is, how the vibration of walking settles your nervous system, all that stuff. So that's what I would say. If a person is out there just feeling stuck, has no idea what the next step is in their life, marriage, divorce, parenthood, career, anything, start walking.
I want to make
Move.
sure we hit this before we close. So, looking ahead, what do you hope that your story gives other people permission to do?
This is a great question. I love that question. All I want is for every single person who listens to me, or every single person that comes to me for coaching, is that their voice matters too. Your voice matters. Your opinion matters. Your voice matters. You matter. You're important. And even if you don't get your way, you need to make sure you're heard. And that is so healing for so many people that I don't care whether your face is paralyzed, whether you're just being brave and, I don't know, expressing your true self. Maybe you're telling your parents about your sexual orientation or how you're present, whatever it is, use your voice. You matter and you're important. And you can't control the reaction that other people have. And that's scary. It's very scary in our lives. A lot of times we don't get the reaction that our nervous system needs to feel safe, but that is going to the next level.
Control over
You speak
chaos.
up. Yeah. You speak up. You matter.
Exactly. They do matter. Barbie, I really appreciate you being here. Conversations like this absolutely matter from the heart because people don't always need perfect answers. Sometimes they just need to hear from someone who kept going, someone who rebuilt, and that's what you've shared today. Before we close, if someone wants to follow your journey, they want to connect with you, or they support what you're doing, where can they find you at?
You can find me, Barbie Wharton, on YouTube. I compile everything on the one channel, Barbie Wharton XO, on YouTube, and then at Real Talk Barbie on Instagram. And I want to hear from everybody. I am so passionate, like I shared, and I know you are too, Jenn, about helping people just start again. Take that first step. Be brave. Let us know what that bravery looks like. And sometimes it's just getting out of the bed today. That can be brave. Some days that's what it feels like. And I love it. And I'm also doing one-on-one confidence coaching now. And I just love helping people just realize that they matter too. So thank you so much for
Absolutely. So
having
if you
me.
guys are
And
listening today, go ahead and get a hold of Barbie. Thank you again for being here. And everyone does matter and your voice matters. And I really appreciate you being here. So everybody listening, take what you needed from this and let it remind you that you're allowed to rebuild. You're allowed to change. And you're allowed to keep moving forward, even if you're still figuring things out. I'm Jenn. This is Soul Plus Systems, and I'll see you in the next one.
thank you so much.